Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's Monday Motivation. Well, I say good morning if you're in the UK or Europe. Very good late night if you're watching from the US live. And good afternoon if you're watching from New Zealand or Australia, which some of you often do. And if you're watching this back on the replay, thank you so much for watching. My name's Jenny Kovacs. Yes, I'm nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen because I help people just like you really to stand out and to raise your professional profile so that you can do what you love, whether you're employed or whether you are self-employed. Now, today's theme is around goals and specifically going for your goals. And I'm going to share some tips and some pointers to help you not fall off the wagon. Because last week and in the last few weeks, I've not only been working personally with coaching clients, I've also been working with organisations to help people get set up when they go for their goals. So I thought, what a good idea to share with you guys, the guys that have been with me on this journey for, so many months and for some of you years, and let's get us set up for the beginning of 2020. Now I know it's the 11th day of the month while I'm filming this, but you know what, for many of us, we not only set goals at the beginning of the year, we set and activate our goals all the way through the year. So actually, whenever you're watching this, you will be able to pick up some really juicy nuggets. So as always, if you feel compelled to, and you know people, maybe they're your Facebook friends or maybe they're your kind of best buddies, do share this, and you can share this privately or on your profile. But here's the thing about goals. Did you know that for many people who set their goals at the beginning of a year, they have normally derailed themselves or fallen off the wagon just by the 17th of January. That's not even 3 weeks into it. But there's a very good reason for this. Some people struggle with actually being able to set goals in the first place. Hello, thank you for watching. I see you some of you hopping on and hopping off. Hopefully you've got stable internet, unlike I had a bit of a wonky internet moment, hence the later start. So some people have actual kind of issues with trying to identify the goals in the first place. So it's not too uncommon for people to approach me and say, Jenny, I do want to set some goals. There's some things I want to achieve. There's some stuff that I want to do, but I'm not really sure how to go about doing it. Some people say, I'm not really sure why to even bother. I mean, everybody, the world and their wife set goals, don't they, at the beginning of the year. I'm not really a New Year's resolutions type of person, so I hear that a lot. Sometimes people struggle with the specifics of, well, if you're going to put a goal together, what do I put in there? And the basis of this video is sometimes we struggle with the how. Quite often we struggle with the how, whether someone's coming to me for help with their visibility, someone's coming to me for help with, being motivated in their career, or even, sometimes it's things like, I want to do more video. I'm quite confident, I'm not nervous about it, but I'm not sure of how to do it. Is it technical? What do I say in the video? How do I sort of chop it up? And all those sorts of great things. So this morning's Monday Motivation is one where we're going to share, or I'm going to share with you some ways, and we together are going to really kind of catapult how we do our goal setting. So first of all, I want to say morning to Ivona. And Ivona's also saying morning to those people joining. So, what are some really great ways that we can do this? Sorry, at that point, someone's just sent a message. I was about to flick it out the way, and oops. Oh, that's it. I'm about to flick it out the way. Okay. So, what are some ways that we can use to set our own goals, set some intentions, keep our own path clear so that we can really head towards the sorts of things that we want to head towards? So, just as a reminder, whilst I, share these tips with you, some of you will, will write them down. Some of you come back throughout the day or the week and you kind of, you listen, you take action on them. And some of you will send me messages privately and say, oh, I've just done this, or I so needed this. And some of you publicly. Thank you for those of you who share and talk about those publicly. But here's the thing, or I should say, and here's the thing, 'cause it's not really a but there. And here's the thing. For some of you, you're really great at being able to do this by yourself, motivated, you go on to do it. Some of you are really highly motivated, but get to a point where you're a bit like, I'm stuck. So for those of you who are great with just taking the tips, going with them and actually putting them in action and getting the results, because that's really what the goal is about. You want to get to that destination. Then have your pen and paper ready. For those of you who are good at that sort of thing but like to be held accountable, do make contact. Send me a private message after this and schedule a call. Let's have a chat about the goals that you intend for this year or for the next quarter. Let's have a talk about that and let's see whether I can help you with it, or whether indeed you do need any help with that, because so many of us are going into this year. It's almost like, although today is the 11th of January 2020 at the time of recording this, for some of us it feels like it's the 42nd of December and it's still 2020, and we've got a hangover, if you like, from all of the stuff that we've been navigating through that year. So here are some tips, pens and paper at the ready, and of course if you've got any questions, any additions, any other thoughts and you want to jump in, do type them in the box below. And if I see them in time, I'll be able to speak to those live. And if not, then I'll just shortly after this live, I'll just go in and respond to any comments. So one of the things, one of the great places to start from wherever you are is identifying what you want to put goals towards. Some people will say, oh, I've got a goal, I want to be successful this year. And actually, whilst that seems like a good goal on the surface, it's far too big a chunk. It's too vague, and although it might feel exciting and stimulating, there's no way to really kind of hunker it down. So here's something that I want you to remember. Think of the word furniture. Furniture describes all sorts of things, tables, chairs, all sorts of different things, sofas and all sorts of things like that. And it's like me walking into a shop and saying, I want furniture. The assistant in the shop or somebody in the shop is going to say to me, well, Jenny, what type of furniture do you want? Are you looking for a bed? Are you looking for a chair? Are you looking for a table? Are you looking for a couch? What are you looking for? And it's the same when we set our goals. It's all well and good saying I've set a goal, but what's underneath the goal? Which areas of your life specifically? Now, some of the most typical areas of your life, of course, are like health and wellness. I am running a marathon in 9 months' time, and I'm also running a half marathon in 3 months' time-ish. So I need to be able to not just say my goal is to run a marathon. I need to be able to identify which of those marathons I'm going to be running. I need to identify the steps that I need to take to be able to be fit and ready to run those marathons. And then in the health and wellness element, it contains all sorts of things. How do I fuel myself in the lead up to the marathon, on the day of the marathon, even after the marathon? How do I physically fuel myself? What do I eat? What kind of exercise regime do I need? So a bit like furniture with beds, couch, table, chairs, this is like, I could say marathon, but really I need to be able to define those goals, because when I break them up, I can treat them separately. I can put them into time order. There's no point me going out for a run right now and trying to eat what I would eat for a 26.2 mile run today. So knowing how to taper those and almost how to prioritise those work. But the main thing is that people chunk the goals up in such a big way that it can seem overwhelming. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the things that you need to do, all the goals that you want to achieve, all the things that you want to achieve, it's likely that when you approach them, you're thinking in a really big kind of chunk way. So look at chunking them down. Look at chunking your goals down into kind of different segments. As I say, there's like health and wellness, which is still a chunk itself, but look at those areas: health, wellness, love, relationships, of which Ivona is an absolute ninja with that. It could be that you don't want to look at personal love relationships, you want to look at maybe professional relationships. Maybe this year is the year that you build more professional relationships. It could be that you're looking at finances, so it could be money and finances. It could be that this year is a year where you want to save. Maybe you want to buy a house, or buy a car, or buy a new phone, or buy a new set of stationery. It could be anything. It's not for me to say this is what you'll need. So when you go around and look at those specific life areas, and most coaches will introduce you to a wheel of some sort, with at least sort of 8 segments on it, then you can have a look at those. A lot of people that come to me identify that they want more of a professional development, and often mixed in with personal development, so mindset, things like that, ways to focus forward. Most people will come to me, whether they're employed or self-employed, because they'll be looking to make an impact and almost be influential in that impact with what they do at work, whether they run their own business and company or whether they are employed by somebody else. They're looking to get to their next kind of level of where they are. So get some sort of clarity at least in where those are. A lot of people, even just last week that I spoke to, had said, I don't know where to start. I don't even know where to start. So at least when you know where to start, then you can go through. And Ivona shares a really great point there. She's saying that she's had to chunk down an essay that she's had to complete into manageable tasks to avoid overwhelm. So many of us get into overwhelm, and the kind of like the result of overwhelm is that we sort of put it off. Lots of people say, oh, well, I procrastinate on things, and usually it's down to this simple piece. Of course you're going to put it off because it feels like there's too many things to do, and you're not sure on what to do next, which brings me to my next point. So many of us wear doing things by ourselves as a badge of honour. And I know that for many of you in the UK at the moment, and for many people across the world, that you're being asked to kind of stay indoors and save lives. However, that is not an excuse to do things by yourself. I'm amazed at how tightly packed people that come to work with me, especially when they come to work with me privately, how tightly packed they are in trying to get things done by themselves. They might say, a lot of my business owners might say, oh, but I've got a VA, so I'm not doing it by myself. And yet there are so many other areas where there's a struggle going on, there's a tussle going on, they're worried about certain things, or they wish things could be different, and purely that's by not doing things on your own. That could be by working, not necessarily with me, but it could be me or somebody like me as a coach. It could be working with somebody like me as a mentor, someone who has done something or is doing something, and you would like to emulate that in your own way and want to know the quickest steps. It could be that you need to associate more with a group of maybe like-minded people who feel the same way as you do. It could be that you need more consistency in that, and to be able to be consistent, you don't want to be distracted. You don't want to wake up first thing in the morning and play the latest game on your phone or check your emails at 6 a.m. Who's awake at 6 a.m? Why not decide to wake up and focus your day, which is the third point, focus. But before I skip on to that, why not set yourself up in an environment that helps you to be successful? Get into great habits, I will be live on Clubhouse. For those of you that have heard of or are on Clubhouse, and if not, and you'd like to know more about how to get on there, got a couple of invitations spare. So as long as you've got an iPhone, sorry to be brand exclusive, but they're not available for Androids just yet. But if you have an iPhone and you would like to be on Clubhouse, send me a message here. I've got 2 more invitations left, so it's fastest finger first. I can send you the invitation. As I say, you do need to have an iPhone at the moment. You can't have an Android. Sorry about that. Not my rules. And I'll send you information. It's free. It's like a radio app, basically. It's like listening to the radio, and any time that you want to kind of get into the conversation, you can hit a button and you can be kind of on the radio. And for those of you like me who like to flap their gums, you can host your own shows on there. And in fact, I'm actually hosting one at 9 o'clock this morning because I've got a gap in between my coaching. So if you're on there or you know someone who's on there, send them over my way. I'm going to be talking about visibility. I'm running a visibility clinic. So if you want to put yourself out there, if there's something you're working on and you want to know a bit more about how you can do that more effectively, I will be giving you answers to your questions. Just thought I'd mention that while I remembered. So get clear on which areas, chunk down the areas that you want to get clear on your goals. Ask for help. Always ask for help. And this is going to sound like a weird thing to say. Ask for help before you even realise you need the help. So if you find that you are procrastinating, putting things off, struggling, in overwhelm, it's likely that you're trying to do too much by yourself. So chunk it down and get yourself in an environment, a group of people, a coach, a mentor, a cheerleader, someone who's got your back. And sometimes those people are members of your immediate household and your family, and sometimes actually they're not, because they might not see your dream in the same way that you see it. So the third thing to do is focus. Put things in place so that you can focus on your goals. And that's where I was starting to say, don't wake up and then go straight to your emails. Why not allow that first hour when you wake up as you time to do something that gets you closer to your goal? Even if it's like you write a few words. I'm at the moment working on a few different projects, and one of the things that I've started doing is getting back into delivering live masterclasses again. So I've been delivering a series of live masterclasses, of course, all about being visibly confident for 2021, because a lot of things changed last year that some people don't even realise. And if you're a person that's already started to put themselves out there are nuances and things that I noticed in 2020 that do need to change quite quickly so you don't get lost in the crowd. So in order to do that, I've had to set up the dates in my calendar, the masterclasses. There's loads more to come. So if you have seen something that I've sent out and missed out recently, there are some more to come. Do jump on this very, very early on, because it's important that you know this stuff. In order to do that, I've had to write emails, send out communications about them, prepare worksheets, write out sales pages. And in that process, I could sit there for like 18 hours and without blinking and do everything from start to finish. But some of it I've delegated, some of it I've done myself. But most of the things that I've done myself as my part to play in that, I've done as much as I can in the time that I've allocated, and then I've come back to it. I haven't said, I need to do this thing. You know what? I'm going to go and play Tetris. I need to do this. I'm going to distract myself and go and, on social media for a few hours. It's all about focus. And when you're clear on what you want, you've chunked it down, you know which parts that you play in doing something, and you've got that focus, you're on a really great path to your goal. And then what happens next? You might need to have your feet held to the fire so that you can be kept accountable on that, and somebody that can come back to you and say, yes, this is the way forward. It might be a specialist area, so you need help on that. So take those 3 nuggets for now, but if you know that after that you're likely by the 17th to fall off the wagon, then contact me. Let's book a schedule a time to chat. Let's see where you're at, whether you actually need the help or not, and let me help to point you in the right direction if you don't. And if you do, let's talk about how we can work together to get your goals out there and have you doing what you need to do so that you're not doing it alone. So, Clubhouse for me at 9 o'clock, coaching calls for some of today. What else? I have put myself in a new community of people to help me go for some specific goals. So I'm looking forward to later on in the day being able to do that. I'm also going to be holding myself accountable with my own accountability buddy, of which I have 2. So really looking forward to that. What are you doing this Monday? Type and let me know in the box below. And even if you're watching this on Wednesday and you didn't get round to it on Monday, take the 3 gems, take the nuggets, let me know what you're up to today. And I look forward to either seeing you on or in Clubhouse, or if not, I will see you back on this page where I'll be sharing more tips for motivation here on my other channels, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. I think that's all of them covered for now. Have an absolutely gorgeous Monday, and remember to take these nuggets to motivate your Monday, your morning and your week. Lots of love to you. Thank you so much for joining Ivona. Have a gorgeous day. Bye for now.